It's back, bigger and better than ever. The Alamo City Comic Con, in its 4th year, quickly became the largest pulp culture convention in the Southwest, bringing back more top-tier celebrity movie and TV stars, more of the very best comic book artists, cosplay, and more merchandise, photo ops, and unique collectibles than ever. Special VIP packages available. Buy tickets now before they sell out. Alamo City Comic Con, October 28th through the 30th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. For info and tickets, go to alamocitycomiccon.com.
All right, let's hit it!
Oh my God, what is this?
A new era dawns to fill the void. An unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1. Final Encountercast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncountercast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
What's up? Welcome to Final Encountercast.
We're back.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been forever.
I know.
And it's the final encounter.
No.
Cast.
No. Well, yes.
You're going to
There we
confuse
go.
people more than they already are.
I know, right? Welcome to Final Encountercast.
Well, hold on. It's only 1 p.m.
I know.
I don't understand.
I know. It's crazy. What is it? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Listen, here's the thing. We're always like 10 minutes late, so we thought we'd just make up for it in one big go, and we're 4 hours early today.
Yeah, right. Thanks for joining us here a little bit early here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast, FinalEncountercast.com. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, we hope that you do, because, it's a good podcast, and you should listen to it.
Well said.
We've been off for a week.
Is the good one.
Yeah, that's right.
Please listen. Thank you.
Please subscribe to it.
Top tier podcast.
Finally.
Please listen. Do not steal.
5-star rate. Okay. Thank you.
We'll trade handy for good rating.
Oh man.
No, just Callie.
Thanks for joining us here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. As I jabber on, who knows what the fuck I'm talking about. We have a lot to talk about, but obviously we took a week off. We were in Las Vegas last week, and we'll be talking about all about that on our Final Fantasy XIV show, Limit Break Radio. That's coming up later today, starting at 6. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to wrap up Final Encountercast today, and then we're going to switch on over to Limit Break Radio, where we're going to listen to Limit Break Radio's FanFest coverage.
Yeah.
All right, so
It was really good.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a shit ton of fun, and if you want to hear all of the coverage, we're going to play that. We're going to play both days over the stream, and then we're basically going to talk about it. And we want to hear from you guys, but we'll get into that over on Limit Break Radio. So the reason that we're doing Final Encountercast first today is because, obviously, there's only 3 of us here right now.
The good 3.
Yeah.
The good 3.
Penis mans.
What is with you in just the weirdest? You are just cramming in the weirdest penis references, and
I cram
have
in
you
all
forgotten?
the penises.
is there something you want to tell us? I mean,
Have you just
did something happen in Vegas? What's going on? Seems to just be on your mind a lot.
I just really love penises.
Okay.
Can we get a drop of that?
Well, probably.
Yes, please.
Weird.
I'll take 2.
Weird.
Go touch his dick!
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us here on Final Encountercast,
I'm not sure why you would.
a professional podcast, obviously. And I don't know what that weird, like, humming is.
There was like helicopters flying by earlier. Oh, you know what it is? Someone was vacuuming the hallway.
No, I know that, but I heard it just as the show was about to start. And I don't know. I'm not sure if that's coming from outside or where that's coming. But that's
maybe Canada's finally invading.
Really irritating. Well, maybe it's the hum.
There's just super inconvenient.
There's the Windsor hum that happens. Anyway, all right. So we obviously have a lot to talk about. There have been a lot of announcements in the past 2 weeks, including the biggest one. Red Dead Redemption, right? That's the biggest one, right?
Well, that is big news.
I mean,
but some bigger things did happen. I don't know if you're aware.
Oh, like what?
Well, that new boss in World of Warcraft was found.
Oh,
that was big news.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no.
The what?
I mean, these are big deals.
Why you turned into World of Warcraft? That game is garbage.
Already, you're off the World of Warcraft.
Says the World of Warcraft player.
Hey, I didn't resub. I got my 1 month free from Legion, and now I'm done.
How much did you pay for Legion?
$50.
All right, you did 4 subs. 3 subs, sorry. It's $15 a month, right?
Yeah, but I only played for a month.
Yeah, but you still have to buy the software.
Okay, well that's different from playing like for more than a month.
Yeah, is it though? I mean, it's still money to Blizzard. They don't really give a shit.
Well, that first month was good. I enjoyed the leveling experience, and then it became World of Warcraft again.
Okay. Anyway, but now, what is the big news? I mean, somebody was telling me that there was really big news as well.
Wow.
What was it?
Supposedly, we no longer have to sit in the darkness saying, why isn't Nintendo giving us any information about the NX?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
They've given us some information.
That little thing that Nintendo did.
Then they gave us the bait and switch.
You see what he did there?
No, I don't.
It was a pun. That's what I did.
Is it?
Because the Switch is the Nintendo's new console.
Spoilers.
Yeah, the name was not impressive.
I'm disappointed now once I understand.
That's why you're not supposed to explain the joke.
Anyway, all right. So yes, we obviously want to talk about the Nintendo Switch. And the thing is we want to take your calls. We want to hear what your reaction to the Nintendo Switch is. Do you think that this is a good move for Nintendo? What are your hangups? What are your reservations? 810-207-1764, final EncounterCast on Skype. Kookie is hanging out to take your calls. She'll send you along to us. But we definitely want to hear from you today. Give us a call, 810-207-1764. But first, let's check out what's going on in the news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
Alrighty, guys. A major cyber attack on DYN Incorporated brought down major web services this week, such as Twitter, Visa, Netflix, PayPal, and more throughout much of America. The major DDoS attack began on Friday morning, taking down an East Coast center, and an offshore attack began later on in the day. The attacks were claimed by a group called the New World Hackers, who organized a similar DDoS attack on ESPN.com earlier this year.
No.
What a lame-ass name.
Seriously. God damn it.
The New World Hackers?
Oh, my God. Can you just try a little bit?
I hope they've got, like, a T-shirt that's just the NWO T-shirt, but with an H tacked onto it, like, just spray painted over the O.
Oh, my God. No, I think that's a little bit too creative for them.
Yeah, but seriously, taking down some big services like Visa and PayPal, like those are major websites to put down.
What an irritating bunch of assholes. They made my job a pain in the ass that day. Are you fucking kidding me? I couldn't get to goddamn Getty
Twitter?
Images. No, I couldn't get to Getty.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everything was running like shit.
Man, Shopify went down. However would we survive?
I know, right? I mean, look, that just may have been my Comcast service in general. I mean,
I think that's what every Comcast customer thought. Like, oh, Comcast is screwing
Here
up
we go again.
Here we go. Turns out, no, actually, it was a major hack job. So, okay.
Well, thank you, New World Hackers, for
isn't it
making Nate's job a lot harder?
I mean, isn't it? Isn't that a little bit alarming that
That a group of like 10 people managed to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's extremely alarming.
I mean, especially when, we're hacking is kind of a political football at the moment. It just seems like if you're a hacker right now, wouldn't you want to it doesn't seem like they were trying to make a statement at all. You know what I mean? Like, they were just being assholes.
Supposedly,
pick your battles. Especially right now, pick your battles. These dumb shits are going to jail.
Well, they don't have a platform because they're only 14 years old, so...
Someone claiming to be associated with them apparently gave a interview, and they asked, do you guys, make ransom demands or anything like that when you do this? Like, we have one demand. Get better security or this will happen again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Good Lord.
Oh, my God.
It was rhetorical.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Well, the hunt for Sombra continues in the Overwatch community. The hacker hero that has yet to be released has been the subject of obsession for a portion of the community as they comb through any little hint they can possibly find from Blizzard. Of course, Blizzard has made a hobby of hiding tiny clues and bits of information for people to find in images and in the augmented reality game in which the user interacts with the hacker. Some in the community have gone a bit too far, however, as they've taken to abusing technical support to gain access to certain accounts that have a Sombra theme to them, assuming, of course, that they must be more clues from Blizzard. Spoiler, they're not. So if you have an account that you decided to name after Sombra because you thought she's super cool, watch out. You might end up getting hacked.
Well, it's your own fault for being like, oh, I'm Sombra, I'm a cool hacker person, and then you know what, you're going to get counter-hacked by real hackers.
Get better security or it's going to happen again.
Oh, my God. All right.
Jesus.
I don't know. That just seems...
Can someone explain to me the appeal of Sombra? I don't get it.
It's a new hero.
Well, I get that.
No, that's it, basically.
Oh.
And, the hacking, the whole hacking thing is kind of cool and interesting because you can, you have to dig deep to, find clues and stuff. But this has been going on for, I don't know, 4 or 6 months now.
They announced that the first clues came out when they announced Anna, right?
Yes, yeah.
So this has been going on for a long time. Maybe it's time to just drop the damn character already.
Well, I mean, they're not going to drop it until BlizzCon, so the timing was really poorly.
That's what, November? Late November?
Late November. I think it's December.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we got a ways to go.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing, game companies have done this a lot. I think Halo is one of the first ones to do, this sort of mini ARG attached to the release of one of their games.
Right.
What was it? I Heart Bees? Was that it? I think that was one of the first really infamous ones. And then there was also the Cloverfield one. But I mean,
I forgot about the Cloverfield
right?
one.
And I mean, they have been done to very good effect. But the thing is I mean, people see this shit coming, and they're so good about dissecting all of this stuff. I mean, look at how quickly all of the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff is pretty much solved.
Yeah, Matt Pett did his video on Sister Location yesterday.
Oh my God,
a couple
really?
weeks after
Already?
release. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, well, yeah, but there's millions of people dissecting this information at once and sharing information, so...
But doesn't that kind of lend an air of almost pointlessness to it? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, all of the Sombra information is figured out in 5 hours after release usually.
I guess, but I mean, if you like this sort of thing, then you're having fun, so...
Fair.
I mean, I feel like... I mean, yes, but at the same time, if you're going to do this, I think you got to think around your audience a little bit more. You know what I mean? It's such a... These ARG games that happen where there's, alternate text embedded in a website that you've got to look at the code to find, the hint to.
Yeah, Scott Cawthon's website, you have to look through his source code.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a well-treaded path at this point. It's so easy to sort of figure out the the clues, and especially
have you looked at this shit? It's 4 pixels that are slightly off color than what the base color of the picture is, and those 4 pixels actually refer to a Morse code image that's later on in the thing that you can only know if you watch this 5-second segment on a map that you only if you go out of your way to get to. It's the most bizarre, retarded things.
Yeah, but I mean, for anyone who has followed the cicada, what is it, cicada something or other,
Vincada?
No.
Ground bug Pokemon?
I can't remember. It's Cicada and then a couple of numbers. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but it was one of the. Some people have even theorized that it's like a CIA recruitment program. Like the puzzles are that complex, and they rely on foreign language skills and I mean, like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that's the thing is I think you've really got to turn up the heat to be able to stay one step ahead of your audience, because people have figured this stuff out so quickly.
I just enjoy that, like, now Blizzard's always going to have like a little disclaimer tag on there that says this will not involve you talking to our customer support to gain access to accounts that don't belong to you. Stop it.
Well, I mean, hopefully the ideal situation is after Sombra is released, they won't do any more hacker hero type things, so they won't have to do this ever again.
Right.
That would be ideal for everybody, I think. United Airlines removed a passenger from a flight this week over their choice of clothing. The passenger was wearing a shirt with an upside-down American flag, which an attendant raised concerns about as they were boarding. The passenger turned the shirt inside out, but later they were also confronted about their hat, which bore the logo of Marvel's Black Panther.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
Yep.
Jeez.
After a tense conversation, they were removed from the flight. Some angry tweeting later, United reached out to the passenger to handle the situation. However, despite many updates, we don't yet know if they did anything to resolve the situation. What we do know is the passenger flew out later that day, and United gave a statement saying they hold their crew to the highest of standards and have zero tolerance for discrimination. Yes, the person was black.
That makes sense now.
Oh, yeah, that's a kind of a critical piece of information. That is ridiculous. So what? Someone likes anti-flag, and they just saw
Marvel.
they just saw Black Panther. You can
clearly this is a danger to the flight.
Yeah,
time to get them off.
That does not make me feel great about flying Delta.
This was United.
I'm sorry, United.
Well, just don't wear any superhero hats.
No, I was going to say, you're fine. You're a white male.
That's true.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
You're super safe, man.
Check your privilege, man. You're going to be just fine.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Seriously, though, what the fuck? A superhero hat and an upside-down flag on your shirt apparently equals terrorist.
Dude, I mean, like, how many different band T-shirts have an upside-down flag on them? I mean, Anti-Flag is one, but I'm pretty sure that fucking System of a Down had one.
Yep. It's not exactly an uncommon theme.
No, it's really not. The guy shopped at Hot Topic once, and he can no longer fly. He's on a fucking no-fly list. What the shit is this, man?
Wait, hold on.
Clearly,
that's completely fair. If you shop at Hot Topic, you should not be able to do anything because you shopped at Hot Topic. Fair. I'm with you, United hashtag.
Clearly, the pilot was a DC fan. I don't know. That's really shitty.
I mean, speaking of being removed from flights, something that like Samsung has really kind of
oh my god
fucked themselves hard. And the thing is, I only mention this because on our flight back from Las Vegas last week, there was a woman who was sitting right next to me. They made the announcement that said, like, the FAA will no longer allow Samsung S7s to be on airplanes. If you have one, we have to remove it with fucking nuclear tongs and with like
oh my god.
It was so ridiculous.
I missed seeing you live, guys. Missed you, Nate. Missed you, Callie. Missed you, Krisha. Less than 3. Lots of love from France. Fabian.
Thanks, Fabian. Very nice of you.
Love that
Was that from Friends or France?
From France.
Or French.
I love that they got it to say Krisha correctly.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
No, that was bad, actually.
That was the best part. Except for the money. That was the best part.
No high five for you.
It's going down.
It's going down.
I'm yelling timber.
All right.
Wait, hold on.
No, okay, so
that's the story.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so the woman directly next to me has a fucking Samsung S7.
Oh no.
And they have to take it off, like they literally have to take it off the plane and I assume ship it to her. I don't know what happens after that.
Hold on, that's extremely dangerous. Shipping basically a bomb through the USPS. Come on.
It's only the Note 7, right? That's like this.
I don't.
I think it's the Note. Because I have an S7.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. But yeah, like I mean the oh no, oh man, okay.
Promise you it's fine.
Did you
Here, hold this for me.
get that away from me? What is wrong with you? You're gonna kill us all.
You have that next to your junk all the time. Wow. Anyway, that's just
If it burns off, that's just saving me a surgery.
I've never heard of that ever, of like the FAA straight up just banning a device and not allowing it on a, like if you have it, it will be forcibly removed.
Oh, so they did take it?
They took it.
Oh, I was hoping
my
she just
God.
like quietly put it in like her backpack or something.
No,
and didn't say anything.
Like I mean, like it's
That's what I would have done.
well, I mean, along with the announcement, they were like, you can be fined upwards of $50,000, and that was when she was like, okay, fuck.
No, I'd pocket.
that's
They'll
not
never know.
profit.
They'll never know unless I explode.
And Krisha, that's why we're all going to die.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you know what?
It's irresponsible motherfuckers like you.
By the way, can I go ahead and say how proud I am that we made it through 2 flights and a fan fest and didn't have a single person kicked out of anywhere.
That's true.
We did great.
That's true.
Does
Skuro
We had a guy.
Does Skuro
No, he was assisted out of
okay,
somewhere.
all right,
dragged
that's fair.
out.
That's fair. That's fair.
Literally stretchered off.
You're right. But no, it's just it's crazy that there's like I mean think about that. Like any of our devices, if it's just declared unsafe in a second, can just be. I mean, imagine if you had to fucking give up your phone, man. That would be like arriving somewhere. You don't, that's unfamiliar to you, and you don't have your phone.
Can you imagine if you were flying over to Europe or something like that? You're landing in somewhere like in France, like
Could you imagine flying in 1990?
Okay.
We didn't have cell phones back then.
Yeah, but we knew people's numbers back then.
Right.
I don't know anyone's phone number anymore.
People made vastly different travel arrangements in 1990 than they do in 2016. Vastly different.
Dude, we couldn't get that lift over to the hotel without my phone.
Dude, I mean, what's my plan next week? Oh, I'm going to just grab an Uber once I land. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have my phone, how do I do that?
Man.
You don't.
That was my first experience with Uber, by the way, and that's way better than taking a taxi. Holy crap.
Yeah. I think of the Portlandia sketch of taking a taxi. It's miserable.
Oh, God,
Every time it's bad.
Yeah. So the PSVR is officially here and surprisingly has a degree of functionality with its competitors. While it can't be used to play Xbox One or Wii U games in virtual reality, it can function as a screen for them. So if you want to play your games on a massive screen without buying a TV bigger than your wall, the PSVR headset may be just what you're looking for.
Well, hot damn.
Because the PSVR's video intake just functions on regular HDMI.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned.
So you can hook it up, and you can play your Xbox One games on a huge screen on your PSVR headset.
But you still need an Xbox One or Wii U.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I thought it was like some kind of emulator or something.
No.
Like,
You're just taking your Xbox and plugging the HDMI into the headset.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Basically, HDMI is non-proprietary software.
Look. After the bullshit that Sony pulled with,
What am I looking at?
God damn it. After the bullshit that Sony has pulled with proprietary cords, proprietary memory cards, all of that shit, it's just nice to see a piece of their hardware that just runs on what everything else runs on.
Just play an HDMI. Plug it in and it works.
Nice job.
Yep.
I like the Apple way where nothing works with anything.
God damn it. It's so true.
Yep. All right, this is one of my all-time favorite stories here. MaxMind, an IP address mapping company, is currently being sued after committing a blunder. The company, tasked with assigning geographical locations to IP addresses, thought they had a novel solution for what to do when only a country of origin could be gleaned from the IP address. Assign it to the latitude and longitude of the center of said country. The problem is, in America, a house is sitting at the dead center of our country, and that house promptly had 600 million IP addresses assigned to it.
Oh my God.
The couple who lives there spent the last 5 years dealing with being accused of child pornography, planning murder, assassination plans.
What the
Every
fuck?
bad thing you could be accused of with having your IP address linked to, they have now had it thrown at them. And they're kind of mad.
Wow. I mean, when I saw the story, I was thinking like, What's the
problem,
Yeah, what's
really?
the consequence of that?
The
I
problem
never
is
thought
if
of that.
someone is doing child porn under that IP and it gets assigned to your house, ooh, that could go badly for you.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're a little butthurt. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
And they're suing. So I think that'll be a pretty open and shut case.
Come on.
Jeez, come on. It was a simple clerical error. Wow.
No, it was a bonehead idea by MaxMind.
That is really stupid.
What if instead of doing the job we're paid to do, what if we just assign everything to the middle of the country? This is my plan.
Smart.
It's a good plan.
Oh, yeah. So
You should probably find out what the middle of the country is before you do that, though.
yeah, it's some little city in Kansas. So
Yeah,
this little
like-
Kansas couple just gets nailed with 600 million IP addresses.
So, we have, 8 different SWAT teams descending on this one house. They don't, think something's up.
How exactly does that work? I mean, okay, so let's assume that nothing was there, right? Yes, it's this little Kansas couple, I picture the couple from Up, right? They live there.
God, yes.
Yeah, and they're, getting the FBI knocking at their door going, "Where's the child porn?" And they're like, "Ah!" Right? So that's just what, yeah, right.
It's the
that's
family
it's
from
just
Courage
what
the Cowardly Dog.
it's what I see. Yeah, there you
And
go.
they want to know what Courage
It's
has been using on that
Eustace and
computer.
Muriel.
Yeah, Courage
Yep.
has been looking stuff up on that computer in the attic.
That computer was evil, though.
That computer was evil.
Anyway, so that was a tangent. Anyway, but assume that nothing was there, right? That was their original intention, that it was supposed to go to a dead location, right? How the fuck exactly does that work if there's nothing there, if there's no infrastructure there, right?
Yeah. Maybe they were like, it's strange that this is working. We didn't think it actually would, but just go with it.
I mean, it's just latitude and longitude that...
Is that all you have to do?
Is that it?
Maybe that's all they need.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Weird.
Yeah. So, following up on a story from the early days of Final Encounter Cast, SAG-AFTRA has officially gone on strike. The strike names 11 major game developers, including EA, Disney, and Activision. The contract they've been operating under actually expired back in 2014, but negotiations have finally fallen through, and the strike is officially on. As a reminder, voice actors are seeking protections for their voices, which are regularly brutalized, recording screams and death sequences. In addition, they're seeking residuals and other forms of secondary compensation when a game moves a certain number of units.
Okay, now, I think this is getting kind of blown out of proportion, because I've heard a rumor that voice acting is only 0.1% of an actual game.
Oh, really?
So really, they should be being paid less.
Yes, I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's
right.
Where did that number come from? Out of curiosity,
exactly.
I just heard a rumor on the internet somewhere. So
I'm willing to bet that came from a game developer.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably accurate because they developed the games themselves.
It doesn't seem accurate.
Why not?
Well,
there's lots of letters and stuff in a game.
Well, because there's, I mean,
yeah.
Think of how often you're interacting with voice acting.
Okay. Well, I'm voicing right now.
Right.
And this is 100% of a show, but we don't have a game attached to it, so logically it'd be less than 1% of the show.
Okay, but see, here's the thing. We don't have quality standards here, right? Okay, so I don't have any expectation. I'm not sitting here saying, okay, now do it better, do it again, right?
That's because I'm already operating at peak performance.
Stop. Make that point, but better.
I'm already peak
No,
performance.
stop. Say it a different. Inflect the third word.
My peak performancing is
No. Try it again. You popped your P.
Could you do a death scream on this one too?
Yeah, you need to scream this one.
Imagine you just get stabbed at the end of the sequence.
Yeah. No.
No, do it again.
I'm operating at peak performance already.
That was terrible.
That was awful.
You know, this is really frustrating.
It is
frustrating. But, I mean, honestly, if we took the audio that you just gave us, we would be making Resident Evil.
That would be Chris.
The only time he gets to be called Chris instead of Krisha.
Can we call him Chris Ass?
That's not bad.
Rejected.
I forgot to assign you a drop today for the drop game.
I know.
I totally forgot about that.
I was rolling with it.
Yeah.
What number do you think?
I'm going to go with the one that's on the board. 16. It's the effect number.
I'm like, you can't pre-select a drop.
Nope, it's the it's the first number that jumped out to me. It's the number that's on our board right now.
All right.
I don't think you can actually see it in the camera, but it's 16. So that's your drop.
Fine.
Yeah, of course, we talked to David Hayter about a year ago about this very issue, and it's really unfortunate. It's really sad to see that talks have broken down. It's not that surprising, I have to say.
He didn't seem like he had a whole lot of hope for this to work itself out.
No, it seemed like, at least to me, like the video game industry was waiting for this to just go away.
Yeah. And it wasn't going to go away.
I'm glad that it didn't. I'm glad that that these voice actors are standing behind their right to strike, and they should be paid better.
Well, apparently the picket lines begin Monday, and I think this, like, long term, this will be good for the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
When you have fair bargaining, collective bargaining, and you have fair agreements put in place, it usually works out for everybody.
I totally agree. And I got to say that I'm really looking forward to the opportunity that I've been presented to go to Alamo City Comic-Con and be able to interact with, interview, hopefully if they let me, people like Nolan North and people like, like Tom Kenny, Ned Luke and Stephen Ogg, a lot of very high profile video game voice actors and cartoon voice actors, to get their opinion about the SAG-AFTRA strike, because this is a really important, part of the industry that we love. And I think that these performers who we've grown attached to as these characters, they deserve the, support that we as a gaming community can provide them.
And this is where we as gamers need to step up too. If these are talents that you like and you want to see get what they deserve, you need to let your game companies know, hey, I want these people in the game, and now the game company is stuck in a position where it's like, well, we got to get them, which means we got to pay them.
Right.
So it's kind of on us to if we just keep buying the games no matter what, then what impetus does that give any game company to bow to these demands?
Absolutely.
Okay, but that's never going to happen because we have people going to see terrible, awful, horrible movies all the time. You think we're going to stop buying bad games because of voice acting?
I think, going to see terrible, awful movies is something that's based around the spectacle of those movies, knowing that they're bad usually. I think this is kind of a different scenario where you talk about people who are fans of voice actors, who are fans of these people and want these talents.
No, what you're talking about is an overall decline in the quality of the products overall. These are really talented people. And if you're not hiring out of SAG-AFTRA, it means that you're hiring scab talent. It means that the talent that you're going to be using is way less groomed, okay? Now, when every game that you play sounds like the worst dub of Naruto that you've ever heard, it's gonna become a problem, right? At that point, it becomes a problem. It's no longer bad games are bad games. It's all games now have been tinted with this vein of shit that runs through them.
We're gonna have to have 2, 3, 4 years of terrible games before video game companies wake up.
Depends.
Are we gonna have a decline of video games?
No, because that's on the video game companies. That's on the development companies that are not paying these people properly. They could fix this tomorrow.
Well, sure, but they're not going to.
They could, though. But it's on them. The responsibility is on them. It's not on the actors. It's not on the performers. They come in and they give enough of themselves because that is evident in the roles. That is evident in the product. We hear the quality performance that goes into things like Mass Effect. We hear the quality performance that goes into things like Final Fantasy, right? And if those take a hit, if you're suddenly hiring new talent, I mean, they may not even be bad talent. They may just be green, right? You're talking about hiring Steve Blum versus hiring someone who kind of sounds like Steve Blum.
Who can do a good Steve Blum impression?
Right.
Who kind of sounds like Steve Blum. That was the inflection you did.
Okay. What,
Yeah,
you
that's
trying
why
to...
That's how I was laughing.
Well,
Are you trying to talent shame him? What are you doing?
like, I mean, clearly they're not hiring me, nor should they.
Actually,
Well, it's just-
I like the idea of Limit Break Radio as the new Scions of the Seventh Dawn when they need to recast them.
I'm just saying, like...
I get to be Yida.
Look, I love the sound of my own voice. Clearly, I couldn't do this if I didn't love the sound of my own voice, right? I don't want to play a game where I'm the fucking main character. No, I don't want to.
The Warrior of Darkness?
No. Can you imagine that? That would be the most obnoxious.
That'd be the best thing
Oh,
ever.
that would
That's
be
what I want to be.
terrible.
I would play that game.
I get to be the giant Gulka.
Oh, which one? Slaffborn?
No, the Warrior of Darkness.
Oh, okay. We're doing the
That
Warrior of
Gulka.
Darkness.
Anyway, no, but I mean, like, that's what we're talking about here. That's what's at stake here. The overall quality of all games is at stake.
If you had to guess, how long before video game companies acquiesce, or do they?
Hopefully, I mean, all it's gonna,
Realistically.
I mean, ideally they do it tomorrow or today, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're in for a long battle with this. I think video game companies will not die on this hill, but they'll defend it.
Well, I mean,
of course.
Think of how they treat their programmers, like from like EA and
Garbage.
all that. You hear horror stories all the time, and arguably, programmers are more important than voice actors. I mean, I'm not trying to start a forest fire there or anything, but
and I mean, like, dude, and I'm not saying like let's start a fucking boycott here, but I mean, like, is there not enough money that's being invested and being floated around in the video game industry to make sure that your talent gets properly compensated? Like, I sort of feel like, dude, I spend enough on video games and fucking, branded stuff from either, Nintendo or Konami or whoever, Square Enix, whoever, like, enough of my money goes to that for me to say, well, why isn't the person whose performance I respect on this, why aren't they being properly compensated? And I mean, you bring up a good point about the programmers, because they're, to a point, they're exploited too. Why aren't they being properly compensated? I understand. Look, deadlines are a different thing. Programmers being overworked, a lot of times that's to meet deadlines, dude.
My game design professor used to tell me when I was in college, if like the last 6 months before a game releases, if you don't think you're working 80 hours a week, you're kidding yourself.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, is that, you get a bit of that in any creative field that has deadline expectations, that has release dates, right? I work in media that has very strict deadlines, right? And you have to meet those deadlines. If you don't, fucking nothing goes on over the air. It's dead air.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working in live radio. It's really bad. You know what I mean? So I understand the pressure that's associated with that. You would just, I think, to make up for that you should be even more compensated than, you know what I mean? Like, there's shit tons of fucking money.
And I mean, we've seen the video game industry balloon over the last 20 years.
It was the only thing that didn't take a significant knock during the recession.
Yeah, exactly. And I get that there is an element of, it's almost like Hollywood, where the largest AAA title games, those games do face more difficulty in to get to profitability because they're so expensive to make at this point.
Right.
The sweet spot for profitability is actually that mid tier of game, but I don't think that excuses underpaying your voice actors.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. And I mean, if the problem is so widespread that SAG-AFTRA, I mean, this is the Screen Actors Guild,
right,
and the American Federation of
Talent.
It's something, or I can't remember what AFTRA is for. But I mean, this is not some fly-by-night union that...
No, it's a major group.
Yes, this is a well-established talent union.
They're the ones who shut down like every sitcom in the country for a year, right?
Or was
like
that the
back
right?
in 2003?
Was that? I thought that was the Writers Guild.
I
think you're thinking of the writers' strike.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think that's a different. I'm not sure if SAG-AFTRA covers that or not, but I mean, this is pretty significant. Again, if as long as the talent is represented by the union, if they're on strike, game companies can't hire them. Means that anything that's in development currently, any sessions that are being recorded currently, they lose that talent.
And yeah, if you're midway through a recording session right now, that you're just I don't actually. Are they under contract to continue going until they finish? Do you think, or do they just stop?
Honestly, I've never been a paying member of a union, so I actually don't really know how that works.
Yeah, I feel like you probably just stop.
I mean, that's kind of the point of a strike, is you kind of...
I'm done, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of fuck the project. I mean, that's the point. You put them in a spot.
Yeah, they did mention a cutoff period. I believe it was games that started production in February 2015, February of last year, is where that cutoff is. So anything before that is fine. Everything after is...
Kyle in the chat says there's a cutoff.
Oh,
he doesn't know the date,
there
but any previous projects before that cutoff are fine.
I think it's February either 2015 or 2016. I don't remember which.
Still, though, I mean, that's got to be a lot of stuff that's currently in development.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Average development time on a game is, 3 years at this point?
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
I mean, if Square Enix is impacted by something like that, I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's going to... Can you imagine...
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine having subpar voice talent for that?
You know what?
Oh, everyone would be thrilled.
I think the most immediate effect of this is they're just going to not have voice acting in video games.
I actually don't think that would be the worst thing ever. I think that a degree of imagination is lost when you add voice acting. I mean, I've been playing, I mentioned on the last show, I've been going through and playing a lot of the Pokemon games. None of that has voice acting.
No.
And I love the fact that it doesn't.
Excuse me, Pikachu says Pikachu.
Oh.
You're the worst.
Yeah, the worst.
I can bring it up if you want.
The literal worst. No, please don't.
No.
You don't need to do that. That's unnecessary.
Pikachu.
Okay. Anyway. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. I think I end up enjoying games where I'm able to kind of put a little bit more of my imagination into it, and I end up appreciating it more in the end. I mean, I think that there was a great era in PlayStation 1 where RPGs had certain cutscenes that were voice acted, and I kind of like that, where you're sort of filling in the rest.
Yeah, well, and I mean, it kind of goes along that same argument as the silent protagonist, where since video games are a medium where we want to inject ourselves into it, it's easier when you can put your own voice over what the main character's saying.
And that's the thing. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that there's a lot of wisdom to that, and when you have a performance like Tidus in FF10 that sometimes takes you out of the experience. You know what I mean? That's the first thing that I think of when I'm like, okay, well, what does... voice acting does add a lot. I mean, you think of the original Metal Gear Solid without voice acting, that's impossible to really imagine.
Yeah.
But, when it doesn't play as well, like Tidus in FF10 or my original point, Resident Evil, it detracts from it, and it's very distracting.
Yes.
So, I don't think that that's entirely wrong. So.
I remember playing Halo for my first time, and I hadn't played a ton of games with a lot of voice acting at that point, but it was like really enjoyable having Cortana talk to you and like walking you through missions and stuff like that. That did add a lot to the game.
I see the
and
chat.
Now I hate Cortana.
I see the chat calling me out for Titus laugh. I'm not saying.
No, we're not talking about that.
Not just the laugh.
That's the best part.
There was other parts of that performance that were legitimately not good.
I didn't like most of the voice acting in 10. The laugh aside, like, I get it. We all know it was done for effect. I'm tired of hearing about that.
Like, Yuna overall, I think.
Oh, Yuna was the worst.
Yuna's terrible.
You could have just recast her, and I would have felt a lot better about it.
Well, it's not the voice actor's fault. She told she had to fit the mouth, and whenever she does, I have become a summoner. It's because that's how they're saying it in Japanese.
Yeah, but there's also her voice, that very problematic part of her actual voice. That
I think if she just
awful.
talked like an American, she would have been fine.
I mean, there are certain voices that just drive me fucking crazy, though. Like, have you guys heard the?
Oh my god, you're talking about the
Panera Bread. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do the Panera Bread commercial.
This motherfucker.
It's the worst.
Complained
It's
all
the
fan
worst.
fest about this one girl's voice.
It is
on a commercial.
It is because it's this like ASMR voice, and it's like, if you think that that we use. Whatever, just like just talk. Oh my god, I fucking hate it. All that ASMR bullshit is so stupid, and I can't stand it.
Bite your tongue, because you don't know. There's a lot of people of our listening base that would kill and or pay money to have you AMSR for like 15 minutes.
That's never gonna happen. I'm just going to say.
Someone's like, hey, I'll fund your next trip to FanFest. You're not going to do a 15-minute ASMR session?
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
You shut the fuck up.
You are going to.
You are a consumer whore.
If you are here at knife point, you're going to do it.
Oh my god.
You know what? Where's a knife? I'm going to do it right now.
Seriously, it's the worst though. I cannot stand that girl's voice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. I didn't realize there was so much hatred over this commercial. I didn't hear about this.
Honestly, I get really upset.
I'm surprised you didn't know already.
Me too, apparently. Okay, then.
The worst.
So, in one of the scarier stories talked about on the show, China has turned to gaming to create a more obedient state.
Ooh.
Straight out of a dystopian sci-fi book, the new app Sesame Credit is currently optional but will become mandatory by the year 2020. The app assigns users a score based on how well behaved they are on social media and the internet. Sharing articles from the state-run news media, your score goes up.
Oh my god.
Import anime from Japan, and it goes down.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh my god.
It affects you in real life too, as higher scores can make getting paperwork to travel or securing a loan for your business easier.
Oh my god, this is literally the first season 3 episode 1 of Black Mirror that just got put on Netflix. That's what that is. That's fucking terrifying.
It's scary. And now they've talked about not only in the future they might want maybe some punishments if your score gets too low, such as travel restrictions.
Yeah.
Or not being able to get on. They had a bunch of them. Being locked into certain job, like not being able to get certain promotions at your job.
It is literally season 3, episode 1 of fucking Black Mirror. I mean, really, if you want to like really get a sense of the consequence of something like that, that's the best example that I can point to, because it's basically a system that is sort of like Facebook, where or anything else where you're like 5-starring people, or like you sign people stars based on your interaction with them, and it gets tied to things like housing that's available for you to buy, or
oh my god,
like oh, I'm sorry, this plane ticket is available to 4.2 and above. You're at a 4.18. You can't get on this flight. Like fucking crazy shit like that. And the fact that it's going to become mandatory by when?
2020.
2020. That is
terrifying.
Fucking terrifying.
When does America get this app? Because I really want to see what my score is. I want to grind that shit up.
I just I get it, like gaming's a big thing and apparently China's trying to tap into that, but this is legitimately scary.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the fact that you can be like socially penalized, economically penalized.
Well, it's fine. Just don't share bad shit like anime and just be good people and you'll get your score up and then it'll be fine. This is a good thing.
Don't swear.
Yeah, if you
That's fine.
Always smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned
make a happy universe. Ethically correct.
They mentioned that sharing a news story about the China stock market wavering, score going down.
Yeah.
However, if it's a state-run article
right.
about how the economy's doing great,
yep,
score's going up.
That's right. Can't dissent on anything. Can't question anything.
Yeah. That is so spooky. And you know, there's going to be one like troll in China who's like, I wonder how low I can get this score and what happens when I get there, and he's going to be killed.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, that's spooky. That is, I don't like that at all.
I've never put an article on here that just like genuinely like unsettled me as I was playing. Like we had the one about like the guys who were dressed weird over in like Norway screwing with the Pokemon Go players.
Right.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, that was.
This is scary.
Yeah, this is fucking terrifying. Have either of you guys watched Black Mirror at all?
No. Sounds good though. Now I want to see it.
It's basically Twilight Zone for the internet age. Is what it? Yeah, and so
I do love Twilight Zone.
I've only seen the first 2 episodes of the new season that just came out on Netflix, which I'm pretty sure is season 3. The first episode was what we were just talking about. The second episode was called Playtest, right? And it's all about this. It's sort of like the next step in VR. And this guy who's brought in to test this new horror game. And I mean, it's got a whole bunch of like little video game references in it. But the reason I bring it up, the main guy in it is fucking awesome. And when I looked him up, it's Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's kid.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh, and
that's weird.
And it's really good. It's fucking. I'm telling you, it's Twilight Zone for the internet age. It's great.
All right, I gotta see this. This sounds really good.
All I know is I want to share a positive Hillary article and get +5 points. Yeah, I do that every day. You get 5 points every day. You could get your score up really quickly.
That definitely is not going to raise your score if we end up living in Trump land.
Oh, God, I could see Trump loving this app. It's a wonderful app. It's beautiful.
I know it. You know it. Everybody knows it.
My score is going to be huge.
Grab him by the pussy.
Oh, my God. Your score just went down.
No, if you grab him by the pussy, it goes up. You think being courteous and respectful to women gives you more score for Trump?
He's not wrong.
Come on.
He's not wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Rockstar Games and Sony have announced a partnership that will see PS4 users getting first crack at their upcoming Red Dead Redemption 2. In addition, Red Dead Redemption 1 will be making its way to PlayStation Now in the near future. So this is exciting. Everyone's waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were super excited about this announcement. I never actually got around to playing.
Me too. Like it was under the radar for me. I missed RDR.
I'll be honest. I'm not into the Western theme. And I get it that like Rockstar's kind of like trying to reclaim it and make it awesome. And I get that and I respect that. Not my thing.
To be fair, like the Wild West, given the other big series that Rockstar does, totally like right up their alley.
Well, I gotta say, the footage that I've seen from RDR2 really does look like they've basically taken the GTA 5 engine, bumped it up a little bit, tweaked it a little bit, but it's basically the same thing. It looks almost like the same engine in terms of, you know, environmental textures and things like that.
That's probably a good thing. The GTA 5 engine is pretty well liked.
Oh, it runs very solidly.
Yeah.
So I think that this is going to be good. Although I got to be honest, I really don't see myself playing it. Do you think you're going to check it out?
I will. I know I'll see it because my brother is a huge Red Dead Redemption fan, so I've seen a lot of the first game through him, but I've never played it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see it the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it.
Of course not. You're in your bubble.
Oh, don't worry. We got news for you coming up too.
What are you playing?
Pokemon Go.
No, I'm not.
Oh, in
right,
general?
Not right now.
I thought you were asking. We can throw a Pokeball, catching a Geodude.
Anything? Oh,
what game are you actually playing?
What are you playing?
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, okay. All right. That's surprising.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, how come I haven't seen you online?
because I only play in the morning.
Oh, well, that'd do
As soon
it.
as I'm done off work, I go straight to bed because I'm tired. And I also been trying to play Pokemon, but God, Generation 3 sucks.
Well, hang on. We'll do a bit of Pokemon. I know that we got 5 people in line to give us a call here. We're gonna get to you guys.
Call the other one.
We're gonna get to you guys. Don't worry.
This is FEC.
Don't worry.
Okay, people on the phone, you're aware this is FEC, not LBR, correct?
Well, they're
Not
calling in
everyone's
to
aware.
they're
calling in to ask us.
They have an entirely different account and phone number to call. I don't think that they're going to be.
On that note of Pokemon, of course, the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo did release this week. It was overall very well received. Right down to the slowpokes barring you from exiting the city, which is amazing.
That's pretty funny.
One little issue that may have been incidental on their part is the entire Pokedex was available in the game and was promptly data mined.
Actually, it's a little bit different from that. They scrubbed like all like the sprites and stuff, all like the most of the moves, a lot of the stats, replaced them all with Pikachu data. So every Pokemon in the game that's not like actually you fight is Pikachu data, and you can't see the normal original sprites except for the shinies.
Oh.
So those pictures that we see on the internet of all of them, those are the shiny versions?
No, but the first images we did find were the shiny version. Then from there, the data miners dug further and found everything.
Interesting. So, okay, we've got basically what the Dex for Sun and Moon is going to be.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not
I'm so underwhelmed, man.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the demo first of all. What did you guys think?
I did
Callie,
not play
did
the
you,
demo.
No,
I just
okay.
got back into Pokemon Y.
Chris, did you?
No,
Krisha, you didn't play the demo? What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Why not?
I forgot.
Really?
How'd you forget? He talked about it all week in the host chat.
No, not. I mean, I mentioned it when it came out.
I mean, I don't know. It's a demo. I'm not gonna. It's not permanent.
But
the only thing I'm gonna play it eventually to get the Greninja.
Yeah, the Greninja, right?
And that's it. I mean, I'm not gonna like dig into like. Apparently, there's like things you can like talk to these people, and then every like in like 3 days you'll get something.
Yeah, but I mean, like you don't want to give just a general.
You were afraid Robbie was going to shame you for playing a demo, weren't you?
I'll be honest.
No.
I'll be honest. I mean, because I played through it, and I gotta say, like there are some weird things about it that I don't know that I like.
Such as Mr. Pokey Professor.
Well, we found out that they're going to be removing the gyms.
Yes.
And the task that they send you on, instead of what I would assume would have been a gym in this demo, progress, is really underwhelming. And I wasn't. It didn't totally feel right. Like the walking animation felt a little bit off. And
really?
Yeah, it just. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm used to Gen 6.
And right. Yeah.
It could be. I mean, I'm totally willing to cop to that. But I don't know. It just seemed a little bit off to me. I may wait until it's bankable to play through.
You got a long time.
It's going to be until January, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
What about that ripped ass Pokemon professor who wears a lab coat but no shirt?
That's weird.
You got to cosplay him.
It's weird. No.
You are the Pokey Professor.
I'm not doing that.
You've gotta.
We'll draw your abs on and everything. It's gonna be great.
I'm not totally sure how I feel about it. Just the Alolan region in general. I'm not sure that I was totally feeling it. I mean, there were definitely some things that they did that I liked.
Wait, but you liked White and Black, which had the most boring region I've ever seen. That map is so lame.
I love Unova.
What?
Unova's great.
Maybe Nate is a boring person.
Maybe.
To be fair, Black and White 2 is a little bit different.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I could see Black not liking it because it's just a big circle.
It literally, all right, you start off here, up, and one circle around.
That's actually why I really liked Black 2, was that it sends you down into like the southeast part of the map, and that's pretty good. There was some parts of it that I liked.
Fair enough.
Speaking of things we like, I hated Gen 3.
Didn't everyone hate Gen 3? Who liked Gen 3?
No one.
Like, at first, I hated it because of the Pokemon.
Yeah, right. That's why I didn't play
awful.
So, okay, but let's explain, because you're trying to play through Omega Ruby right now.
Right,
And
yeah.
you've stalled out again.
It's like the third time, just in like the Omega version of it.
Where are you in the story?
Oh my god, I was trying to think. I think I just beat Norman.
Okay.
I think that's where I've stalled out.
Which one's Norman?
Your father.
Oh, okay.
Jim 5.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, because then... Okay, here's the problem. Like, it's like the game just teleports you all over the place. Like,
yeah. Okay. No. That's totally fucking fair, because I had to look up a walkthrough several times, because the problem was I'd put it down and I'd be like, where did that one random ass character tell me to go?
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember. So I'd have to go and I'd have to look it up. It took me longer to get back on track. And I think that was the biggest problem than any other Pokemon game I've ever played. It was way harder to figure out, like, where am I going?
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I always just tell them, take me wherever I'm going. I'm like, oh, go here now. Okay, I'm here now. Then go over here. It's like...
The last third of the game actually gets way better about that. It's actually like right after where you're at, where I just like sped through the last of it. I just beat the Elite Four yesterday. So...
It's hard. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through it.
I'll tell you what, though.
When's Pokemon Sun and Moon come out?
February? Is it February? I think it's February 19th, 18th, something like that. Yeah.
I thought it was November.
November. Sorry, November.
Okay.
Jesus
I was like, February. Jeez.
Sorry.
November 19th.
November
sounds
19th.
Right.
Oh, 19th. Fuck.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Right,
sorry.
I might still have time to beat it.
Yeah, because I think the demo was like 30 days, and then the game drops.
Okay.
And then I think that came out.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
All right, so we've learned that Blizzard has a penchant for
Gen 3 is best gen, you fucking monsters.
No, it's not. Ew.
Who do we need to ban from our chat? Was that Skirl?
Scape Death. No, that was Scape Death. Thank you for the $10, but I can't disagree with you harder, man.
Yeah, you know who likes Gen 3? Skirl. Congratulations, you like Skirl.
Really? Skirl actually likes Gen 3?
He does now. That's our new canon.
Okay. For the purposes of this joke, yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Ruin this for me.
No, but I mean, like, I understand not liking Gen 3. I didn't like Gen 3 a whole lot. I definitely didn't like it when it, like, on the Game Boy Advance, because you couldn't. There was just no possibility of getting older Pokemon, and those are the that's where my favorites are. So as long as, because I actually had a lot of fun with Omega Ruby. Mostly because it was bankable. Mostly because I got to set my lineup from the word go. That I really liked. That aspect of it I really, really liked. But I definitely understand that. See, the problem is I liked Y, but there was like no post game. Nothing. There's like, after you beat the Elite Four, you go catch Mewtwo. I think there's what Zygarde is the only other.
Y?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go do the thing with Eviltal.
Well, yeah, you do evil.
Well, yeah, but Jesus.
Come on.
He tries to end the world, man. You got to save it.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry that saving the world's not a big enough post game for you.
That's not post game. That's part of the actual story.
Yeah.
That's actually part of the narrative, because there's another gym to beat after that.
Yeah, okay, bro. Post game.
It's not a post game. Literally, all you got is Zygarde and Mewtwo, and then
and the shitty bird,
the one legendary shitty bird.
Scoro hates Gen 3. It is known.
What? Who said that?
Again, Scape Death. You're arguing with Scape Death donations.
No. It's really the worst kind of arguing.
All right.
So we've learned that Blizzard has a penchant for stashing away cool secrets in World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Gen 3 is amazing. The world, characters, and Pokemon made is so enjoyable. Gen 3 Brawnies unite.
What?
Wow, we triggered some people
Yeah,
out
who
there.
knew this was going to be the big thing?
Who honestly, who looks at fucking Team Magma and
Team Aqua?
And they were just they had the most dumb motivations.
Oh my god! Have you seen the newest Pokemon generation?
I have.
That is.
It is so perfect for how dumb those fucking teams are.
Kyogre will follow my command as long as I have the blue orb. Aha! Kyogre destroyed the world. Hey Matt, how's the world looking up there? Well, it's getting destroyed. Oh shit!
I want Justin to voice act all of these.
Maybe the voice actor strike maybe isn't that bad.
We have an opportunity.
This is where we got to move in. This is our chance.
Oh my god!
This has all been part of the plan.
Actually, no. The anime was perfect because it really was like, oh, they really are that fucking stupid. Yeah. Okay, all right.
And that girl with the awful hair. Oh my god! Remember in the anime? I don't know what her name is.
No.
Okay, she had bad hair.
Misty?
No, the one we're just talking about. But the female Aqua is hot as fuck.
Okay.
Still waiting my own version of Drunk Nate.
Okay.
What?
What? Still waiting on my version of ASMR Drunk Nate.
Yeah, see?
It's not happening.
They want it. How
Not
much is
happening.
that for?
No, that's $1.
What's
Definitely not happening for $1.
What's the price point?
No.
Come on. I played Final Fantasy 11 for like $8 billion. There's got to be a price point where you will do...
Well, the question is, at what price point do we force him to do it so that we get the money?
Yeah, come on.
Maybe the price. Maybe that's for us to answer what the price point is.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say like $8,000 and mean it.
You heard it, guys. $8,000. He'll do it.
Okay.
Get the collection fund together.
Like how you're just like, yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah, okay.
That's a great number.
8,000. Okay. Maybe like, how much did I do mine for? Like 400?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Hey, how much did we get in my boob fund? We got some money to put towards things.
Anyway.
All right, so we've learned that Blizzard has a penchant for stashing away cool secrets in World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about something.
We're still there.
Yeah, right.
Don't you hate how the new gen Pokemon are so much better than like Generation 1?
They're not.
They are.
They really
They're
are.
really not.
Voltorb?
Well, okay.
All right, I'm not saying that everyone in Gen 1 was a gem.
Right.
But
Okay.
By the way, I added to my shiny collection.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got 2 more. One I already had that I didn't realize that I had.
Which one was that?
Shiny Metagross.
Oh.
Yeah. That wasn't actually a
legit one.
That's a legit event Pokemon.
From like Battle Station or something?
No, it was I think it was given out over mystery gift around the time that I had bought Omega Ruby. So I just hit mystery gift and it was there.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I spent
Metagross is pretty sweet looking.
Yeah,
shiny.
yeah, and he does get a Mega Evolve too. He's the only one that I Mega ever.
Ever.
Yeah, and then the other one that I got, this was earlier today off GTS, was Rayquaza, shiny Rayquaza.
Oh, I'm sure it's very legit too. Oop.
Probably
The
not.
boob fund is not dead.
Thank you, Scape Death.
I didn't realize the boob fund wasn't dead.
Okay.
Well, it's
Good to know.
It's on vacation.
Yeah. Sent us on vacation.
Kinda.
We'll grow up that fun like it was nothing. Grab it by the pussy.
God. Can we talk about WoW, please?
I don't know. Can we?
I didn't think I'd ever say this, but can we please just talk about WoW?
So another example of Blizzard's weirdness has been unearthed. In one of the game's older dungeons, Nomergon, an ultra-powerful new boss has been found. To access him, you must be level 110 and clear the final boss of the dungeon. Once he's down, you can circle around a column in the room to find a button that reads, "Push me." When you push it, Engineer Omega Plug pops in the center of the room and proceeds to crush your skull in. If he is defeated, which is difficult, he's very, very hard, he drops a vial of goo, which transforms the user into a leper gnome.
Interesting.
It is apparently that button has existed that says "push me" down there since Vanilla WoW, and it's never done anything until now.
Interesting.
Yeah. Only now, once you hit level 110, it doesn't work at anything under level 110. Can you push it and spawn that ultra endgame boss?
That's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's been planned.
Yeah.
Or if they were just like, wait a minute.
Oh, do you guys remember the button?
Let's make a button do something.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they hire a guy who was a big WoW raider to work on Legion?
I have no idea.
I think they did. I believe I remember reading that. Maybe he was just like,
it's a pretty
hey, that dungeon that says has the button to push me. No, we're putting something there. I'm sick of it.
It's a pretty clever idea, I gotta say. But also at the same time, like, it doesn't sound like they really gave players much of a reason to do it. It doesn't like what was the loot from that?
It's an item that transforms you into a leper gnome.
Yeah, that seems really stupid.
No. Like WoW players go crazy over toys, like things that turn you into other things. I know I have things
because you're stupid.
I have a little charm that turns me into a red ogre.
See, this
now is that like a worthwhile thing? Is that like something people go after in WoW?
Oh, you can't go after this. This is like fucking way when the card game was a thing.
Sure, but if that came back into the game, like there's a way to get it now.
Oh
would people
hell,
do-
it better not.
I know, but if it did, would people
I'd be
do it?
so pissed.
You don't play the game.
Doesn't matter. They already gave away my Druid Raven mount, okay, to everyone who wants it. So you know what? Leave my ogre idol alone. Thank you very much.
I think maybe this is a big deal to WoW players.
Okay.
I guess.
I guess.
All right.
Guess.
Great.
So after what has felt like an eternity of waiting, finally the NX is no longer shrouded in mystery. Revealed to be the Nintendo Switch, the hybrid handheld console system will be releasing in March 2017. It's the subject of our discussion for today, but for more news and other stories, visit our blog at finalencountercast.com.
All right, there we go. Finally through the news. We're going to take your guys' calls. We got, I think, 5 of them in the cannon. 810-207-1764, or send a message over to Final Encountercast on Skype. Kookie will get you all set, and we'll get you on the air. But real quick, before we get to your calls, I just wanted to kind of go through the trailer that we saw, just so everyone is kind of operating off of the same context. So Nintendo dropping this trailer, man, already seen 16 million times. That's crazy.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't. But all right, let's take a look at this.
Can't wait for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. That's what it looks like.
Hashtag Nadia's Murphin.
Thanks. All right, so first of all, the controller kind of looks like shit, I gotta say. Like when it's on the like controller stand
tablet.
Yeah. Actually on the tablet, like this. This looks fine.
It looks like a Wii U.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
when it's on the actual console dock, it looks like garbage.
It's the charger?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like trash.
Yeah.
Well, it's a charger. You're not supposed to.
No.
It's a dock.
The thing that it makes it into a controller.
Oh.
That looks like fucking like terribly bulky. So
the thing that you hold when you're playing it on the console.
Yeah. There's so many different configurations of this goddamn machine.
It's like Voltron.
I know, right? But I mean, as a tablet, as a handheld, it actually is pretty appealing. I got to say that screen is huge. That's a huge screen.
The music choice was so strange.
So we see that it's got cart games.
Yeah, picking up basically where the 3DS left off. It looks like the SD card kind of is back.
Yeah. I don't know. That's not. I don't know if that's the worst decision. It seems. I mean, the capacity on those is pretty good.
I feel like they've just kind of determined like people like cartridges still. As much as I keep thinking it's going to go away and die, even I enjoy having the cartridge.
Yeah. The alternative is, I think, way worse.
Yeah.
You've got it. Yeah, you've got to go. But the question is, like, okay, so there are carts, but is there also going to be an additional, like, SD card? Micro SD? Like, additional storage for, downloadables?
I would guess
Probably.
yes.
How would you not?
There would have to be.
Internal storage, but then that's capped, and you can never switch it out.
It's got USB ports on it. I'd imagine it'll have an SD port.
Okay, well, fair. So, by the way, I actually need to object to this part of the trailer the most. There is no way that if you're sitting in an airport playing a fucking Nintendo, that a hot, attractive girl is going to sit down and give you an iota of your time. Maybe, like, this guy isn't even hot enough for this girl to be talking to at all.
Do you remember the advertisements back in the day for the Virtual Boy? Where it always showed... Oh, my God.
I absolutely don't.
Well, they always showed them playing it outside or in public. And, like, no one was going to play the Virtual Boy in public. Nintendo, you're delusional.
Diamolos in the chat saying these people are too attractive. The girl is. I don't know about the guy's.
The guy's about right.
The guy's definitely goofy with his stupid square jaw and meaty face.
He looks like he could be cast as Spider-Man any day now.
He's not black.
Why would that matter?
Because the next Spider-Man has to be black.
You think it's going to be Miles Morales next?
Donald Glover.
No, he's Lando Calrissian.
No, after Spider-Man. No, Lando Calrissian's in like Star Trek or something.
Oh my God. I can't even have this conversation with you.
It's got a kickstand, man.
All right, so I'm a little confused as to why at this point you would take the two different mini controllers off of.
It only makes sense if they haven't some kind of motion control in them, but they haven't been billing that, have they?
Not that I've seen.
It does not have motion control.
Yeah, I don't think that would make a whole lot of sense.
So that way you can
sit back and I don't know. Why not just use it as a fucking tablet?
Yeah, why not just hold it like this?
I guess to just show off the feature.
Sometimes it's really heavy, okay?
I guess to just show off the feature, fine. But the notable thing is that they're playing Skyrim on it.
Yes, and Bethesda's a confirmed publisher.
Yeah.
Yay, because we need a 6-year-old game on it.
Right. So you can actually use actual controller with it too. That's good.
That's good.
That's great news.
Can I plug a game controller into it?
So basically, what they're saying is that the docking station is what connects it to your TV, but that the processing is all done
in the tablet,
the actual tablet.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Interesting choice. I mean, it's smart. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. I mean,
I don't know how else you would do it if you want to build as something that can be both portable and
absolutely
on console. You have to do it that way.
I think if anything, I think that makes me concerned that it limits the power. I mean, I know that NVIDIA...
it's a Tegra processor. It's not that great.
Well, NVIDIA's paired with them, but Nintendo's always lagged behind in terms of graphical power. But I mean, I've heard people wondering whether or not this is going to be, going to have graphics on par with, like the PlayStation 4 current or whatever the next gen is going to be. Is this current gen? Is this next gen? What gen does this fall into? I'm going to guess that this probably can't put out the same frames per second or the same resolution that even a current PlayStation 4 could.
I doubt it. I don't think it will.
I mean, granted, the trade-off is a huge amount of portability, and that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If the battery life can sustain it. That's a big if. That's a big if.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that a lot in the discussion today, I'm sure.
So I think that's my two primary concerns for the system so far. Let's check out the rest of this ridiculous trailer.
That tiny controller.
Yeah,
Can you imagine your hand around that?
No, I really can't do the hand cramps. I'm already thinking of hand cramps. Okay, no one on earth would do this. No one on earth. Hey, guys, we just finished our basketball game. Let's play video game basketball. No.
This is in there so they can
never. No.
It's in there so they can confirm an NBA 2K game. That's all it's
Fuck off. This is no one on earth would do this. Either you're going to go out and you're going to play a fucking video game or you're going to play basketball. You're not going to cram the two together for some inexplicable reason. Dumb as shit. Yeah, I hate that controller. Not as much as I hate this woman's skirt, though. What the fuck is that? Is she a war refugee from the 1930s? What the fuck are you wearing, lady?
All right, she's got to get to her rooftop party.
She's a shut-in, okay? She doesn't get out often.
Clearly.
But
now
Switch is allowing her to. She's going to switch it up.
Who honestly, who goes to a fucking rooftop party and brings a video game with them?
Well, what else do you do on rooftop parties?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I've never been to a rooftop
I was
party.
going to say, have you been to a rooftop? I haven't been on a rooftop
Fact
party.
of the matter is, that doesn't happen.
Rooftop parties?
Yes,
Well, maybe
that's
in
what
New
I'm
York
saying.
it happens. I don't know.
Fuck off.
There's a lot of
Maybe
roofs
in your friend's idealized version of Manhattan, maybe.
How I Met Your Rooftop Party?
Oh, for fuck's sake. So stupid.
Drawing out them plays, man. I'm liking the pro Splatoon.
Yeah.
Esports Splatoon, that's where it's at. But
Clearly, that's going to become a thing.
can you play with your friends on Splatoon yet? Sure could when
This is so stupid.
Hey, you are going to pioneer the esports scene, so you need to be on board with Splatoon esports.
Oh God, I'm
okay?
gonna have to cover Splatoon on the new show.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
And Pokemon.
No, you're not.
VGCs.
Let's be honest. No, you're not, because no one plays Splatoon competitively. No one, not a single fucking person.
Lots of people play Pokemon competitively.
No, I mean honestly, if they wanted to get something legit on there, why not put I don't know, Smash Brothers, something that actually competes. I mean, it would be nice to know that maybe not a new version of Smash Brothers, but at least that, you know, the newest version of Smash Brothers would be playable on that, right? I mean, they showed off Mario Kart, and it wasn't a new Mario Kart. It was the old Mario Kart. It's the Wii U Mario Kart,
Yeah,
right?
but it had different characters.
Oh,
so it might be like a royal version.
Fine. Okay.
Updated version.
Okay.
I think the thing I'm most excited for, I saw in that trailer, you only saw it for a moment, but there's the new Mario game. Just a new standalone Super Mario 64-esque game. That I'm actually excited for.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. It's been a while. It's been a while since we got something like that.
Yeah, what was the last one? Galaxy? Or there was Super Mario 3D World,
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say 3D,
yeah, 3D World, yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually really fun because it was 4 players, man.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of positive talk about 3D World.
I wish I had friends that would play with me that game, but I don't.
Well,
It's because you're a sad, lonely human being.
Because most of us don't own a Wii U.
Nobody
Well, that was-
No. That's a very valid technical reason why. Okay, we don't like you. That's why. We just
That's our more petty reason.
as a person, we just don't like to be around you. We tolerate you.
Okay, you know what?
To
Give me
do the
back
show.
all my legendary Pokemon.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got fair things for those, like Kabutos and a Snorlax. Yeah. Where else would you have gotten those Kabutos? That's right.
From myself.
All right, we want to take some of your calls here on the show. We're going to hear what you have to say about the NX, now named the Switch. We're going to go right...
How come they have to, like, ruin names? Like, the Ultra 64 I thought was way better than just the Nintendo 64.
Oh, well, Dolphin. Dolphin. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a cool one.
You want to...
Come on, NX was way better than Switch.
Okay, yes. I mean, I don't know. Their name...
I like that they're switching it up a bit.
Look, I'm just glad that they're not calling it, you know, Golden Shower Bukkake something. You know what I mean? Like after Wii, you know, like we're just,
okay.
you know, we narrowly
That's
dodged
connection?
that bullet.
That's the connection. Okay, that's where we're going. Very, very
mature.
I was going to say loosely,
highbrow,
loosely connected.
Highbrow. That was the word you're looking for. I got them smart jokes. You got to think about them. We're gonna go to Philip.
You know,
we're gonna go to Philip.
Your Sesame credit's going down right now, buddy.
Good. I hope it is. We're gonna go to Philip. What's up, Philip? How's it going? Thanks for calling Final Encountercast.
Oh, doing great. How you guys doing over there?
We are awesome. Glad to hear from you.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that Switch. It's probably one of the biggest tongue-twisting teasers that I have ever seen in my life. I mean, you got all these indie hot, attractive young people showing up like, hey, why don't you hang out with us over at the top of our building? Oh, why not? I look hot enough. Sure. Yeah. Oh, here, have a little controller thing, modular technology. Oh, man, starting to think about Ouya all of a sudden. Wait, what? No, I don't want that. A tablet? Oh, God, what is in it? What is in this tablet? Oh, what's the battery usage? Is it going to last long in my plane? What if I have a 5-hour plane ride? Why is there always all these hot people? What if the scenario that I'm sitting next to a really fat person? I don't know. All these things are in my mind. I hate it. Oh, God. This is just like Wii U. Oh, God. This should have been the Wii U.
It really should have been the Wii U.
It really is the Wii U, too.
It kind of is. It's sort of like the natural extension of the Wii U.
Wait, can I just...
controller?
Caller, what is your standard for I'm hot enough to go to a rooftop party? Because we all are unaware that rooftop parties exist.
Do I need to...
Shit, are we not pretty enough?
Maybe we're just, maybe we're not attractive enough to ever get invited.
Do we need to buy scarves and trilbies and vapes? Is that the problem?
Well, you just have to have that 1930s haircut, and
that's right.
You know, Draper, and then after that, then everyone will want to be. With
That's
you.
right. That's right.
Oh, I gotta get one of those skirts too.
Shaved on the side, and then a goofy mess of hair up top. Yeah, it's a good look for dumbasses.
But all seriously, I got to be honest here. I just don't know, man. I got to know more. I need more info. Because, I mean, we're getting teased the same thing we got teased about Wii U. And it's like, oh, look at all the fun things you can do with the Wii U. Oh, look, you could throw shurikens and lightning. And I'm like, I don't like the tablet controller. And I still don't like the tablet controller. But if it's on the go, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I guess I could be okay with that. I wouldn't.
Do you think it's got a touch screen on it? I don't think it has.
It does not.
No,
it
does not. It doesn't.
It does not.
That's kind of weird.
Wait. Wait, yeah, it does.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have been a very strange decision to make, given the Wii U, the Nintendo DS. Those all had
in that whole trailer. They never showed them touching the screen one time.
You know what? They didn't show it, but I would be surprised. I would be shocked, considering that every tablet device, every phones. So many of those are touchscreen. It's not like it's a difficult technology to work in there.
I know, but why wouldn't you show it off?
The frame rates were terrible in this teaser. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I mean, they were playing vanilla Skyrim, and what was it, the Legend of Zelda, whatever it's going to call it, and the frame rates in the Zelda game were really bad, and I was just like going, oh, God.
That's exactly what I'm saying, man. This is not going to be able to put out the same kind of frame rate. Like, we have to have reasonable expectations for this. And the question is it going to end up being good enough to put on your television, or is this really only a satisfactory machine for when it's in your hands? Well, and I guess the other question that I have is, like, what is actually a part of that dock? Like, if there's additional... Like, how do you provide additional processing power in a dock? But, I mean, it does seem like if you're going to be making that a full presentation on your television, either you're you're going to have to be like, look, you're audience, you're not going to be able to expect 60 frames a second. And are gamers going to be okay with that? Like, there's a lot of concessions already if you're a Nintendo consumer that you're taking. Like, if you're buying a console, you know that a third of the good games that are coming out for the next 2 years are going to be off limits to you. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess, but I mean, come on, who doesn't have a PC in this day and age?
Look, I don't. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm never wrong.
But at the same time, though, you know, like, when it comes down to spending your money, that's a very real cost-benefit analysis that people end up doing. And if you don't have that graphics card, if you are running a budget PC, and Steam is not an option for you, I mean, granted, there are way less exclusives for Sony and Microsoft now than there ever were. That is a closing trend, fortunately, in the gaming world. And there is a lot more that's segregated only to Nintendo products, as opposed to the competition between Sony and Microsoft, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely part of the cost-benefit analysis, but is playing a worse version of games that have been out for, God, like 6 years at this point? Like, really, is that is that really going to be able to justify the purchase?
I mean, it worked for Square Enix.
Oh my God.
Please don't start modeling everything after how Square Enix does it.
Right. Well, I mean, there are a lot of questions like, what's the price point?
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. I mean, because your price point is really going to drive interest in people picking it up as a second console. That's a space that's not occupied by anyone right now. You know, you've got your main investment, your main console that people will buy, if you're even still buying a console anymore, if you're not just all the way over to PC at this point, which I understand there are those people. That is becoming a much wider section of the gaming audience, and I totally readily admit that. But there's no secondary, there's like no budget option, there's no secondary option. Nobody's buying a PS4 and an Xbox One. It's a binary choice. But I could see people, wanting to go, well, I got my PS4 for the, PSVR and stuff like that.
But I need Mario.
And honestly, the portability of it that's a very attractive part of the equation right there.
Not like for me, I look at that thing and I say that this doesn't look portable to me. That thing is humongous.
Yeah.
Like for me, portable says I can fit it in my pocket.
Well, I'd be afraid of cracking the thing in half.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can fit that in my pocket.
No.
That thing is going in a bag.
Okay, well, you're gonna have a special suitcase for this. I mean,
oh God, and you're gonna have a case to keep it safe. It's gonna be even bigger to carry around.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have one of those big shell cases for my PlayStation Vita, and it's fucking obnoxious to take anywhere. I've got to have a bag. I can't reasonably put that thing in my fucking pocket. There's no way.
That's like 3DS for me. I have it's the biggest that I can get into my pocket.
Yeah,
and if 3DS, it was any bigger, I wouldn't do it.
3DS or 3DS XL?
I think it's an XL.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
if it was any bigger than that, I wouldn't.
So I was gonna say this is normal 3DS right here.
Okay,
I feel like
that's
this is reasonable.
You can't even see the screen on that stupid thing though.
You're not wrong. But that's a
3DS for pores, let's be honest. You're not going to be grabbing anyone's pussy with that thing, I'll tell you what.
Oh, my God.
Philip.
Make it stop.
Philip, thanks for the call, man. We've got a bunch of other people hanging on the line that we got to get to. If you want to call Final Encountercast, 810-207-1764. Final Encountercast on Skype. Chris.
Yes.
What do you feel from the bubble, man?
Dude, I'll tell you what.
News from the bubble. Let us know where's your hype level at, bro.
Shut the fuck up. You are part of my bubble right now.
No,
don't you forget it.
I am not.
You are part of the bubble.
Until I break down and actually buy a console.
Do you two need like a moment alone? I could give you some privacy.
Actually,
I've heard what people are writing
Can you go
about
get me some tea?
Yeah,
we don't have. Yeah,
I need
Pops
a
isn't here.
Well, that one backfired.
Yeah,
that sort of backfired on you.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to make out now? Or?
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys
10
minutes.
Stop. News. Give us news from the bubble. What are the insiders feeling about the Nintendo buzz?
I don't know about insiders are feeling. But
really?
I
thought this was a highly connected community.
I'll tell you what I feel.
Okay.
I'm also feeling underwhelmed. Okay, because it was just a trailer. Like it's just saying, "Hey, this is the thing. This is our gimmick." And that's it. That's all. That's all I gathered from that.
Confirmation that it's a thing, but at least we know what the fucking gimmick is. I mean,
yeah. And
do you remember some of the insane things that we were seeing? It's all it is a controller, and it's got it's all of it. It's just a touch screen. I mean, like there was really ridiculous stuff that was circulating about it.
Are they wrong though? It's a controller and it's got a touch screen, and
it's definitely not what they drew up or imagined in their head, which looked something like a batarang that was cut out of a fucking iPhone. That thing was ridiculous.
That thing was pretty sweet.
That was so stupid. But I mean, look, some of the rumors were right. I mean, like, what are you like? What do you feel as a Nintendo fan, though? Like,
I don't feel.
I mean, you said underwhelmed. Is it the concept that's underwhelming? Is it the possibility that the specs are going to be worse than?
I don't care about specs.
No,
I literally I don't. They just go in one ear out the other. Like you're like, oh, NVIDIA turbo butt munch processor in the butthole. I'm
but
like,
you don't. Are you telling me you don't honestly notice like some of the frame rate issues that Pokemon has?
Only when it's noticeable, when it drops to like 20. That's when I notice it.
Yeah, during battles.
Yeah.
and shit.
Oh my god.
Right? Like, how is that okay? Like,
it's not okay.
Yeah, from a hardware perspective, like that's the dominant portable video game system right there, and it's chugging 12 frames a second on two Pokemon.
They were pushing the hardware so strongly in Ruby and Sapphire.
How is that okay?
I don't know. This is why it needs to be a handheld console, is because Pokemon just requires it, because it's so GPU intensive that they had to make their next handheld be as strong as a console. So they just combined the two. You see?
You don't actually believe that, do you?
It's a theory.
And
it's just a theory.
Don't.
Don't. Keep going.
No.
Shh, let it happen. Okay, but in terms of the gimmick with the controller, that is like the most underwhelmed I've ever been.
Really?
Like, I thought the Wii with the motion controls, that's something. That's interesting.
Okay.
I could get behind that.
Right.
Worked out terribly, but, whatever.
Yeah.
Tablet touchscreen with the Wii U. Okay. It's weird, but they can have like the second screen, have your inventory. That could be something interesting too. I'm behind that. This whole controller thing, like what are you trying to accomplish by having detachable controllers? I don't understand what the end game is for this thing.
I think it's just the option to have it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
game developers couldn't utilize like the second screen on the tablet well enough. How are they going to utilize a detachable controller?
Well, that's the thing, is that it's totally optional. Like, if you want to include like a mini controller mode, yeah, like it is a little bit more programming that I guess you would have to do to be able to support multiple modes.
I said Powerade, you piece of shit. This is Mountain Dew.
Oh, then maybe don't call me Pops next time.
I called you after you.
I knew what would happen.
I requested tea, and this is clearly urine.
I mistook the two. I'm sorry.
I'll trade you.
Why does it smell like sex and shame in here?
There's no shame. Just something wonderful. Thank you, Daddy.
Stop. Stop. Dear God.
Your mouth says stop, but your heart says go on.
Let's go back to our phone lines and hear from...
change the subject.
And leave this awkwardness
abruptly.
behind.
Dear God. Let's talk to Diamelos. What's up, Diamelos?
Every time I get...
Oh, Diamelos, hang on. There's a donation.
Line back.
Makes me lose my train of thought.
Yeah, just talk right over us. That's great.
Yeah,
jeez. Just talk right over the donation. We tried to tell you that it was happening, but you were just off and running. No one heard any of that because we had to mute you.
Yeah, start over.
Try again.
Anyway.
Hi.
So,
let's talk about the Switch.
Yes, I think it's a good idea. Stupid trailer aside, this is something that I've wanted for video games since I was like 6. But I'm kind of at a point in my life where I don't do handheld gaming much anymore. Like, I don't really think I'm part of the market for it. I do think it's a good idea. One of the things, like you guys have been talking about, is the graphics being an issue.
Right.
Even as a PC gamer this generation, strictly PC gamer, I'm not getting on the other consoles. I feel like AAA studios have been focusing too much on the graphics and not enough on the gameplay.
That's no. I think that's fair. And what you're talking about is development time that's allocated in a certain department, and more emphasis being spent, more time being spent developing graphics and things like that. And I don't disagree with you. The thing is, though, is that as a hardware maker, like as a hardware developer, you've got to be able to support that. Like, you've got to be able to run that, even if it's a misallocation of time from the development standpoint, like, the hardware should be able to run it And they're setting a pretty high expectation. Now, I saw the comments in the chat that Skyrim is not confirmed for the NX and that wasn't actual footage of Skyrim running on the NX. That's pretty clear. I don't think any of the footage that we saw was it was the hardware actually in use. So we're not going just by what's on the video. My point is that there is no hardware that is that size that can run games natively like that. There's just hardware that's just it's not good enough to do that. So what you have to do is you have to kind of use the consumer grade products that are out right now that you can buy as your as your baseline. What can the best tablet output right now? That's basically the pinnacle of what you're looking at.
Man, tablets can't even run Hearthstone well.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, I mean, good phones struggle sometimes with Pokemon Go, depending on where you're at.
And I mean, we know that the processor in it is a modified Tegra processor,
right,
which is commonly used in phones. But
and that it is running off of NVIDIA architecture, so it's not something that's proprietary to Nintendo, that's actually kind of a bigger deal,
yes,
than people have been making out of it. But the point in saying that is that we're not basing our judgments, or we're not basing our reservations about the hardware off the video that's actually shown off in the trailer, but more based on what we know about consumer-grade electronics right now. So, for those that tried to poo-poo that in the chat, just, a quick note to you. But, Diamelos, I think you're not alone when it comes to hardware concerns, when it comes to frame rate concerns, when it comes to reservations about mobile gaming. But I want to, and I kind of want to drill down on that a little bit, because I've actually found that as I get older, mobile gaming plays a much larger part of my life. Now, I don't know if that has to do with my job.
Yes.
It probably does.
Yes.
Because there are large tracts of time where I don't have to be paying attention to my job to still be doing it.
If you had a real job, that'd be in your locker right now.
Well, fortunately, I don't have a real job. I have a fake job where I say words into microphones and people pay me money for it. I don't understand why.
You don't make anything.
All I'm doing is exploiting a personality trait. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to capitalize on
fear and hatred.
No. On my ability to entertain people. You can't fault me for wanting to make a little bit of money off of that, right?
Well, we can, but our names would be lyric to do so.
Yeah. It would probably wouldn't be very good for your bottom line if you did.
Probably not.
Yeah. Anyway, Diamelos, what do you have any other reservations? I mean, let's talk about the mobile gaming thing for a second, because again,
battery life.
Battery life is going to be a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, what mystical new battery technology have they unlocked that this is going to work?
Right.
Adamantium.
Well, you also kind of consider the fact that, for your normal phones and tablets, you've got a lot of background processes running. Whereas if this is strictly a game console with very little things going on in the background, that means you're not going to be draining as much power. But my phone barely lasts an hour and a half with Pokemon Go running, so.
That's exactly my concern. I burn through my phone's battery so quick.
Yeah, but the Switch is a lot bigger than a phone, so presumably the battery might be bigger.
Come on.
Yeah, the battery will be bigger and the power drain will be bigger.
Well, hang on, because now we've got all of these little accessories. We've got two little controllers on either side. They're going to have to be powered.
Please call them dongles.
They're going to have dongles. They're going to have batteries in each of those that are going to take. You know what I mean? How else are you going to power those? How else do you run those?
Those are with batteries in the dongles.
Well, there's no cords, so they have to have batteries.
Yeah, in the dongles.
Yeah, but
there's 3 batteries total.
So I need to have
That's a shitload of batteries, so I got to
way
charge
too
it for 3.5 hours? Like, that's insane.
You got to put a AA battery in each of the controllers.
Just take one controller at one end of the house and the actual tablet at the other end of the house. They'll charge at the same time. We'll be fine.
Dude, think about how quickly your battery drains the minute you load Pokemon Go. Doesn't even get to the fucking screen. Like, honestly, it was Pokemon Go that made me go, fuck, battery life is a huge deal. Battery life is really irritating. And I now own 3 battery banks because of it.
Okay, Mr. Excessive.
Well, it's also because the charging port in my car died, and I'm like, it's like for emergencies.
Well, and if you think like this isn't important, look at the Sega Game Gear versus the Game Boy. One of them had a battery life of multiple days. One of them had a battery life of multiple minutes.
Yeah, right.
And it was not good.
Yeah.
It took 6 AA's to power that thing.
I know.
And it lasted an hour or 2.
And
the technology was just way beyond the current
era. And batteries always add a whole lot of weight to it too. I mean, as Callie had mentioned this earlier, you know, how big this fits in your pocket, the profile that it has, the portability of it. I mean, it's a fundamentally portable system that doesn't seem all that fucking portable.
Okay, you're gonna use a briefcase to port it, okay? You're gonna have like a nice suede leather briefcase. You're gonna spend $400 on the system, $500 on the briefcase.
It's like Callie's laptop. It's the most impractical goddamn thing on the planet.
It's so heavy.
Why, dude? If you have a laptop, why make it as heavy as the goddamn desktop? I don't understand it. It's mind-blowing.
I don't like that I came out 2 years ago, and this is what's going to be inspiring me to get a purse.
Look, I agree with you about the battery life. That's a huge reservation for me. Unless there's some kind of like real big step forward in battery technology. Because now, like, think about it. You're going to have the system, you're going to have the dongles, you're going to have probably battery banks, and then, you know, like the fucking carrying case to keep it all safe. Dude, this is, I mean, it just seems like a monster investment of just like,
space.
Can you imagine someone pulls that thing out next to you on a plane and you're just like, oh, Jesus, this guy.
You'll be like, hey, let me play. I'm a hot girl. I'm going to chill out with you, bro.
That will never happen.
That happens all the time with Nintendo products.
Sort of like the
It's called the bubble.
Sort of like
We're like Mormons.
Like that's like the guy who we got sat next to flying out to Vegas, who was trying to make conversation with the girl across the aisle, wasn't working, and ended up listening to clips of him at a party, full blast, so that the rest of the plane could hear. Like, it was like Instagram party video.
Snapchat or
something? Snapchat, yeah. It was fucking obnoxious.
Okay, now, my question...
I want attention, please. Please, everyone else, listen to this, please. Fuck off.
I have no recollection of this, so I'm not sure if everyone on the other plane heard it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was loud as fuck. Loud as fuck.
So, was I the only one watching this trailer when we saw them, like, for the first time, like, slide the 2 controllers up? Was I the one who was picturing holding this thing and just having the middle just fall out? I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure that there's some kind of locking mechanism that
I'm sure there is, but I can also see me being like really into a game and like, oh, and then it just slides out.
Or like you get really frustrated and just snaps and now it won't reconnect.
Oh my god,
fuck!
yes.
Have you guys forgotten Nintendium? How it's made of the strongest stuff on Earth?
That's fair.
You know what?
That's perfectly fair.
You're
actually.
not wrong.
I'm never wrong.
The goddamn GameCube could survive a nuclear explosion.
I hit my N64 with a sledgehammer at one point to see what would happen because I had 2.
Really?
It still turns on fine.
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, wow, nothing.
It survives
Absolutely
and turns on
nothing.
fine.
Yeah.
You know what else does that? Fucking Chicken Limbo. Chicken Limbo takes it takes a lot to kill a Chicken Limbo.
It's that old Chicken Limbo.
Limbo's the one. Big fun.
You remember that kind of thing?
What is going on? Did you play this before the show?
No, that's a product from the 90s.
What are you talking about?
It's a toy in the 90s.
Fuck, Chicken Limbo?
Yes. It was the only thing more unkillable than a Furby.
Yeah, it really was. There was like...
Is this some kind of thing where you have to like go under a chicken or something?
Yes. You limbo under a chicken that goes up and down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's got tail feathers that dangle down, and if you hit it, it squawks at you.
We're done.
We killed Juxta. This is what it took.
I like how he goes, I'm done, sets down his headphones, does not get up to walk away.
Just takes a drink.
All right, Diamelos, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. If you want to give Final Encountercast a call, 810-207-1764. We want to hear what your thoughts on the Switch are. Are you going to be picking it up? Are you going to be buying it? Are you excited for it?
Have you switched over to the Nintendo side?
Are you going to buy it, Krisha?
Eventually.
Not a day one purchase?
I gotta know the games. Like, see, that's the thing.
It's
like,
the games and the price point. Like the price point has to be right on this. They can't get that wrong.
What's a title that's going to make you pick it up?
Pokemon main game.
Nope.
Smash Brothers.
Possible.
Maybe Mario.
Mario's day one release.
Yeah, Mario's definitely there. I'm pretty sure in that trailer we can kind of
Mario, I believe, is the one.
Yeah, we can at least
confirm for a day one release.
I think so. I think so.
Really?
Yeah, it's the launch title.
I mean, it's there.
Mario and Breath of the Wild are both supposed to be launch
Was
titles.
there a Mario launch title for the Wii?
There hasn't been a
or
launch
the
title
Wii U?
Mario in years.
Not a while.
Yeah, so I'm not holding my breath on that.
The last Mario launch title was Super Mario 64, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's been a while.
GameCube had Luigi Mansion.
Well, Sunshine got pushed back.
Yeah. The last time it was a launch title, I believe.
Yeah, you're
was
right.
Super Mario 64.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
So
right.
I'm not holding my breath.
You know, fair enough. Bet history. It is supposed to be a launch title for it, so we'll see.
So
what price are you comfortable paying for this? Knowing what we know now, like if they came out and said, what number?
I would probably pay up to $500.
What?
Wow.
That's a gen console, next gen console.
But we just got done saying that this is not a next gen console.
Okay, well, it's a Nintendo console, which means if you want to play the actual good games that exist in the world, you gotta get a Nintendo.
See, look at inside the bubble, man.
Oh my god,
I'm just a realist. Okay,
300 is my cap.
Fucking
$299.99.
$249. Literally half of what you would pay is the most that I would pay.
Why do you think this is gonna come out for $300? That's what the last one came out for.
Because
it's gonna be at least
I don't know,
$300 to $400 to $500.
No, if they try to get away with $400, they're
not
no
gonna.
way.
Yeah, they're really.
No.
Yeah, they're
Have
gonna
you guys
hurt.
not heard of
500 is
inflation?
insane.
I'm just saying what I would pay.
The
my cap would be $500.
The PS4 was less at launch than the PS3 was. $600 to $400.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the hardware determines the price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really $250, and I recognize I'm being a dick about that.
Man.
$300 is probably a much more reasonable expectation, but honestly, $250 is honestly, I won't buy it until it's $250.
I would do $300. My gut says they're going to go $349.99. Try and do that.
And the problem
my gut.
The problem is that Nintendo's got nothing that they can reel me in with. Zelda. I am so disconnected from Zelda. I look, guys. I grant it's a good launch title, and it will get a lot of people.
Yeah.
Doesn't get me,
dude. I'm terrified of open world Zelda.
With good reason, man. I mean, I'm terrified of open world Final Fantasy. I really have. I have a lot of reservations about that. I think it's just not going to come off as a Final Fantasy. Just like I think Zelda's not going to end up coming off as Zelda. It's not going to feel Zelda-y. In the same way that, I mean, granted, look, I'm a little bit picky about that kind of stuff because I was picking apart Sun and Moon, the demo, for not feeling Pokemon-y enough.
Right.
So, I mean, look, I probably have a much more conservative expectation for what I want out of my games, and that's fine. I'm totally willing to cop to that. I'm willing to admit that, but the thing is that you do run a risk of having that be the sentiment overall around your game, and that's not good. I think that's if the majority of people who play it feel like that's not a Final Fantasy game or that's not a Zelda game, that's not good for the brand. And dude, my opinion is subjective, and I'm wrong a lot. That's fine. I'm totally okay being wrong. I'm just saying that you have to do right by the audience and their expectations. So that is definitely a good point. $250 for me, man. I don't think that
is that your price or what you think it's going to come out for?
No, that's my price.
Okay.
That's my personal. That's the highest that I would go.
What's your guess?
And the only property that they have that would pull me in is main Pokemon game. But we've got Sun and Moon, so we can't expect another.
Yeah, it's not coming.
We can't expect another for a long time. And I think if we get another, that we're going to get another 3DS game out of the. They've always seemed more. Every game, it's always on the handheld system. Well, there's always two sets of games that come out with each generation of Pokemon.
Right. Pokemon Eclipse.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
If the only way you see it on the Switch, a main gen Pokemon, is if they announce there's not going to be any more handheld systems.
Well,
if they
say that or no?
I don't know.
They said like 2 or 3 more years of 3DS development,
and then everything just goes to the Switch,
and then everyone switches to the Switch.
Then you might see the next Pokemon game be planned for the Switch.
All right, let's go back to our phone lines and talk to TJ. TJ, thanks for calling Final Encountercast. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Y'all doing okay?
Oh, we are doing great.
Great.
Thanks for calling in. You want to talk about? You want to talk about Nintendo? Yeah, all right, let's do that.
Yeah. I was talking about, sorry, I keep cutting you off. Yeah, I was calling about the Switch. I mean, I'm a longtime Nintendo fan. I didn't go in with any expectations to the trailer. And, when I saw it, I was like, well, this looks really good. And then I saw Skyrim and my hype meter just went, through the roof. Because I'm like, finally, maybe we're going to get good third-party games. But, after the initial high that I had, I kind of thought about it. I was like, now, wait a minute. We saw Mario Kart, which might be like an enhanced port. We saw what could be an enhanced port of Splatoon, maybe. And then we saw Skyrim. And after I saw the list of third-party developers, it made me think, well, with this system, are we just going to get a bunch of remakes? Like, is this going to be Nintendo's chance to be like, hey, all those great games you loved last generation, they're here? Because I just get the feeling that we're going to see, like, another port of, like, Resident Evil 4. Yeah, maybe a port of Metal Gear Solid 5. I just get that feeling that that's what the Switch is going to end up being,
I think there will absolutely be an element of that. Like, you'll definitely have a lot of these games that we couldn't get on Nintendo prior to this coming over now.
Right.
And also because I don't think you're going to have any backwards compatibility on this.
No, it's zero.
The zero. Right. Like, there's no way you're playing Wii U games on this.
No. Yeah. Okay, hang on. But that doesn't mean that they won't later unlock digital backwards compatibility.
Well, you gotta buy those.
Right. You got to rebuy them. Sort of like how Sony and Microsoft they resell digital downloads of stuff. It could be a very lucrative market, TJ, because these, as Callie had mentioned, these titles were not available on Nintendo products. So you've got. And the question really is there, okay, well, how many core Nintendo fans just didn't bother playing games like Skyrim because they weren't on the hardware? I don't think that there's that many. There's some, but there's not that many. There's definitely a little bit of a market there. And I think as long as they don't put all of the money into it, and depending on how easy they are to port, like if the architecture makes it really easy to port, there really is no reason. Right. There's no reason not to, right? Like that's just all money at that point.
But don't Wii U games require both the Wii U screen and the screen?
Yeah,
the TV screen.
Yeah.
How would you port that?
I have no idea. I
don't think you ever can.
I have no idea. Same thing with Nintendo.
Same with 3DS games.
Yeah,
how would you
3DS
ever bring
games,
those over?
Nintendo DS games. Yeah, there's no, unless there is a touchscreen element to it, and then you would just sort of like maybe have one screen on like laid out laterally. I don't know. It's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, obviously the two-screen element might be something that kind of hamstrings them on this time.
But the thing about Nintendo is that they're always really good about some kind of backwards compatibility. All of their handheld systems have always supported at least one generation of backwards compatibility. And I find it really hard to believe that there would be absolutely no support. And I also feel like there's a lot of stuff that people just missed out on the Wii U because they didn't buy it. And
exactly.
Yeah, and if they had the opportunity to represent some of those games, that they should probably take that opportunity. Yeah,
and that's kind of my biggest concern too. Is that this is, I don't want to say punish Wii U owners, because I have one. I got a lot of consoles. I'm a gamer. I want to play what's fun and what's new. And that's my biggest concern, is that as much as I'm hyped for the Switch now, like at the same time I don't want to feel like, all right, well let me buy this new port of Bayonetta 2 or something like that, because some of those games didn't need the second screen. Like Hyrule Warriors, Twilight Princess HD, you can play them with just a controller. You don't need the pad.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my concern, is that is the Switch going to be something that, hey, not a lot of people had Wii U, so here's your chance to finally play insert good Wii U game here, So.
Yeah, I guess that's another really good point, is that there were so few games that the Wii U pad was required for,
right,
or that you couldn't just strip that element out and still have it work as its own game. That I think, you could end up doing Wii U ports. So I do expect Nintendo will support at least some of their titles through digital download, and they've got a good opportunity, especially if the system is significantly more powerful, and it does seem significantly more powerful than the Wii U. But I mean, this is just, I think Nintendo has an upward battle in terms of trying to stay competitive in terms of pumping out graphics, because you're going to get you'll probably get a lot of the greatest hits like Skyrim, like Fallout, of the last generation finally make their way to Nintendo. But all of this new stuff that's coming out, I think that it hamstrings a lot of that. I think that that's going to be really hard to replicate on that hardware. Thanks for the call, TJ. We appreciate it. We got a couple of more callers that we want to get through, but we've got to wrap it up pretty soon. Going to go back to our phone lines here in just a second. Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. We're talking about the Nintendo Switch. Whether or not you are planning on buying it, are you picking it up? You want to? You said day one? Probably not.
Probably not. For me, it's always about the games.
Was Wii U day one or no? No.
Wii U was Smash Brothers.
Oh wow, that's pretty late into the the cycle.
That's what I mean when I say games dictate what I buy. So,
and I think that's especially true of Nintendo. Now that I think about it, 3DS was once Bravely Default came out.
Nope.
I didn't get it till then.
I didn't get it until X and Y.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And I got the special handy dandy X and Y special edition.
You had Bravely Default. You played through Bravely Default. Did X and Y come out before Bravely Default? Is that what it is?
Wasn't
it must have. It must have, because
beforehand, I think.
Hold on, wasn't Bravely Default on the 3DS?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, then I bought it on the. Oh wait.
Yeah, the 3DS.
Yeah, Bravely
Did you
Default
have an old? Did you have an
X&Y.
old fat 3DS? Yeah. Okay, then that explains it. You had a 3DS for a while. Yeah. Because you had to have, because I know that we had been playing through Bravely Default around the same time.
Why did I buy a 3DS though?
For Bravely Default.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know, because you're part of the bubble. Help me to remember. It wasn't for Bravely Default.
Would it have been for Returns? Oh wait! There was Smash Brothers for 3DS. That came out like a while before it came out for Wii U.
I had it before then.
You had it before then.
I did. Was there a different Pokemon game?
No.
Super Mario 3D.
X and Y were the first Pokemon games.
I don't know.
Mario Kart.
I'm gonna guess.
There was a Mario Kart on there.
I'm gonna guess that X and Y came out before Bravely Default, and you already had it, and we just played Bravely Default at around the same time.
I think so.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's go back to our phone lines and talk to Patrick. Patrick, what's going on?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Thanks for giving us a call here on Final Encountercast.
So I just wanted to quickly talk about the price point of the NX, because that to me is the biggest thing that's going to determine whether I pick it up or not.
So
what's PSVR? Sorry, go on.
No. What's your maximum? Like, what's the max that you would pay for a Switch?
$249 is the max. I mean, I'd prefer it if it was closer to $200.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a PSVR event about 2 weeks ago, and if the Switch and the VR systems are the same price, let's say they're $400 each, I'm going to choose the VR. Like, I'm not going to choose the Switch because VR has so much more potential.
Oh, yeah. I think that's an easy choice.
I've been very excited because I've yet to have someone tell me the VR sucks.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's sweet.
Everything.
Everyone says it's amazing.
Everything that I hear about PSVR is that it's worth getting. But again, I mean, that's another situation, Krisha, where the games are really going to be the driving factor there.
Yeah.
If the games aren't there, if the software is not there at the end of the day, then it's going to be a pointless piece of hardware. But I think that, the buzz around it, the potential that surrounds it is huge. It's massive. And, I think that's pretty phenomenal. That's what I like to see out of new hardware. And you're right. If it is the same price point, it's going to be a no-brainer to go with the PSVR. I think that's the price point that they've got to beat. They're really competing not with the consoles anymore, not with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Most everyone who's going to buy those bought them. They already made the decision, right? And at this point, now it's what's the peripheral that you're going to end up investing in? Is it going to be the Nintendo Switch, or is it going to be the PlayStation VR? I think that's a very fair comparison.
Switch isn't a peripheral, though. It's a console. Next gen.
Is it?
Presumably.
Is it?
Presumably.
Is it?
Presumably.
So, Pat, tell us a little bit about the PSVR experience. Like, what was it that sealed the deal for you?
So I played 2 games. The first one I played was Farpoint, which had the gun controller, which isn't actually released yet, which was really cool to hold. It was so tactile, really light, and the shooting was really precise. But the thing that sold me was I played Resident Evil 7 Biohazard on the VR, which was honestly the most intense gaming experience in my whole life.
Really?
It's really bad when you're walking towards the booth, and I'm like, okay, they're ready to go. And some girl screamed and jumped so hard, like, away from the screen, that she ripped the cord out of the PlayStation in the booth.
But this is what I mean. Like, this is what we've been talking about since we started talking about VR. The horror aspect of it is going to sell it.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be
I
so
don't
good.
like horror games.
You will now.
Yeah. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
I want to get one.
Or else I'll downvote you on China's social networks.
Oh, shit.
Sesame credit, man.
That's right. There we go.
I want to
credit.
I want to
Couldn't
get this and stream it. I want to stream horror games on the VR.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be amazing.
You also want to stream horror games? Because you're a horror.
Well, Twitch usually bans those.
Yeah, those aren't. They
we'll
look,
get around it.
They look down on that. Patrick, thanks for the call and letting us know a little bit about the PlayStation VR. I know that I'm super excited about it. We had a couple conversations.
Robbie is super excited about it.
Yeah, like every time, I had a couple of conversations with folks at FanFest about PSVR because a few of them had gotten to experience it. Those conversations, out of way more hype out of them than any kind of promotional material, advertising piece. The user testimonials, the word of mouth, the enthusiasm from these people about how they were like, no, you don't it was like, you know how like someone has like a weird religious experience that you've never had, but they swear by it. It's sort of like that. I'm like, they're like, no, you have to experience it. Like, it's a thing that you have to go through.
And we've always kind of thought there's not going to be a big middle ground on VR. It's either going to be disappointing or it's going to be a revolution in gaming. It's going to change the way gaming works.
Totally.
And I like everything I'm hearing so far has me so excited to try it.
And that's again, it's not any of the marketing. It's not any of the, the packaged, well thought out, none of that. It's all of the enthusiasm that exists behind the product. That doesn't happen often. I got to talk to a friend
who got to do the Star Wars VR experience thing.
No shit.
And they said it was like their childhood dream come true.
Wow.
I'm like, oh man,
dude, that is so awesome. All right, we're running a little bit over time, trying to get an idea of how many people are in the can. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to just wrap it up. I'm sorry.
Wrapping up an hour early.
No.
It's only 3 o'clock.
I know, but we're on Final Encounter Cast, and we got to still do Limit Break Radio.
Oh,
yeah. All right, so here's what's going to happen, folks. We're going to, as soon as this show gets wrapped up, we're going to send a host back out to twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. You can join us over there. I do want to thank the almost 200 people that have been hanging out here watching us today at 172. That's the biggest crowd that we've ever had for Final Encountercast.
Which leads me to believe some people came here for LBR and thought, wait, this show's good too.
You know what? Hey, that's not a bad thing. If we helped you find Final Encountercast and you actually like the show, hit the follow button. Join us every Sunday. We're here normally starting at 5 p.m., but today we had to flip-flop it just so that we could make sure that we had a larger cast to talk about FanFest and our experiences last week out at FanFest. Thank you guys for putting up with us in our week off. We really, it was nice to be able to go out to Vegas and really concentrate on what we were reporting on out there and not have to try to cram in a show somewhere on that weekend. So we really appreciate your guys' patience while we took the week off. So again, if this is your first time hanging out, hit that follow button. We're here every Sunday, twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. If you like the show, check out our full archives. They're available over at finalencountercast.com. That's going to be it for Final Encountercast for today. Remember to join us over for Limit Break Radio. We're going to be listening to our FanFest wrap-up shows, and then following that with a big discussion about everything we learned at FanFest, and we want to hear from you. We want to take your calls today on the show. Join us over at twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. That's it for Final Encountercast. I want to thank my small but awesome crew today. We got Krisha, Callie. My name's Nate. Have a good one. Final Encountercast is a production of finalencountercast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Callie Sloan and Kooky Persona. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid206.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobsy. For more info, visit sobsy.bandcamp.com. For links to articles mentioned on this show, check out our live blog at finalencountercast.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.